It was the year 541 AD, that is, 1,500 years ago. In this area of Europe, people witnessed something peculiar in the sky that no one had seen before. The sky was filled with strange-looking clouds, and these clouds were so thick that they had even blocked the sunlight. Initially, people thought, these clouds will pour heavy rain, but seldom those people had thought that these clouds are going to do something for which they would be remembered forever. This entire area was under Eastern Roman Empire or Byzantine Empire, whose capital city was Constantinople. At present, we call it Istanbul, and this peculiar scenario was happening over the sky of Constantinople or Istanbul. Hours turned into days, days turned into weeks, but these strange clouds were not raining, neither wanted to move away. Day by day, the issue was getting serious, and for the past few weeks, Constantinople didn't have a glimpse of sunlight. But no one knew that it was just the beginning, because things that are going to happen were way out of anyone's wildest imaginations. Viewers, in the year 541 AD, Constantinople was facing a serious situation. Even at that time, Constantinople had a population of 1 million people, and for weeks these dark clouds were making everyone distressed. But the situation became grievous when one by one people start dying, healthy, active people collapsing suddenly. And soon after they would die. Seeing this, people become anxious and fearful, as they felt the world is about to end. The dark thick cloud, strange fog, and deaths, nothing was coming to a halt. Snow started falling during the summers, and it was so severe that neither the crops nor animals or birds were able to survive. Then, the Byzantine Emperor Justinian advised people to remain calm, and declared that good and honest people will remain safe. This statement from the emperor made the people more distressed, because the plague wasn't differentiating between good and bad people. Thousands of people were dying every day, who were buried in a mass burial, and things got even worse. There were acute shortages of food. The Byzantine royal army, although strong, was helpless in this situation, because the enemy was mysteriously invisible. The whole region was affected by this plague. Wherever this dark cloud went, this strange disease was spreading in the land. Far regions like Spain, France, Italy, Greece, Turkey, Morocco, Syria, and Iran were affected by this disease. No one knew the actual reason for this sky-related disease. People had no option other than to believe that it is the time when the world ends, and their belief grew stronger when the Byzantine emperor himself became the victim of this disease. This plague was the first recorded pandemic in history, which is now known as the Plague of Justinian. This strange 2-year-long plague had forced the entire continent into disarray. In fact, there were few regions where sunlight was not seen for 2 years. But no one knew the actual reason for this mystery: the thick dark clouds, snowfall in summer, damage to crops, death of animals and birds and even people. All these things indicate that something happened here which was not normal. But now, 1,500 years later, in 2013, scientists and experts have found out the reason for this deadly sky plague. The reason for plague that claimed the lives of 10 million people was found 5,000 kilometers away from Istanbul in Greenland. A small group of experts reached eastern Greenland, and their main objective was to research the past climates. The weather remains extreme in Greenland. It is not at all possible to live here without professional equipment. In the month of June and July, in many countries, the temperature crosses 50 degrees Celsius, whereas, at that time it's -18 degrees Celsius in Greenland. There is no summer in Greenland, and that's why it's impossible for the ice to melt here. The snowflakes, while falling, capture the particles present in the atmosphere. That means, if there are dust particles in the atmosphere, they will be captured and brought down by the snow. Experts believe that, beneath the snow, the climate data for the past 100,000 years is still intact. Every year the snowfall that Greenland receives remains preserved layer by layer. The layer of a year is 5 centimeters thick. That means to analyze the climate data of 1,500 years ago, it is necessary to test the snow samples present 75 meters below. Experts started the drilling process and brought out 2,000 years of snow samples. The total length of the ice core was more than 100 meters. It contains the snow sample from the era when the deadly plague of Justinian happened. The ice core was subjected to the electrical conductivity test, which showed an abnormal spike of sulfur in the snowfall. During the year 500 AD to 600 AD, this spike indicated that, during the period when black clouds were hovering over the sky of Constantinople, at that time, something strange was happening in the atmosphere. Sulfur dioxide is a very dangerous gas, which is equally harmful to humans, birds, animals, and plants. The next task was to find out the cause of this excess sulfur present in the atmosphere in the 6th century. Experts believe that only one thing could have been the reason for this excess sulfur, and that is a volcano. Yes, beneath the Earth's surface at a specific depth extremely hot molten rocks are present. Earth's outer layer with its pressure stops magma from escaping, but the magma keeps on searching for creeks and fractures to escape. This tug of war continues until the seawater doesn't reach the magma. If the seawater reaches the magma, the water becomes gas due to extreme heat, and this gas along with magma exerts more pressure on the surface, and soon the magma, in the form of lava, blasts out from any weak point. Water and sulfur do not mix with the volcano, rather they are released into the atmosphere as powerful gases. The volcanic gases released during the powerful volcanic eruption can spread thousands of miles away easily. The sulfur present in the atmosphere combined with the water droplets becomes sulfuric acid, which in any circumstances can become deadly for humans. The clouds of sulfuric acids are so thick that they even don't allow sunlight to enter. Something similar happened 1,500 years ago during the Plague of Justinian. It is now confirmed that it was the volcano that claimed the lives of so many people in Europe. On one hand, you have deadly sulfuric gas and sulfuric acid clouds. On the other hand, if the cloud rains, then it will be acid rain. Otherwise, the clouds will torment the people for sunlight. The situation was such that it has only destruction for humans. Which volcanic eruption caused this destruction was still unknown. After many years, experts came to the conclusion that Lake Ilopango, in El Salvador, 11,700 kilometers away from Constantinople, across the ocean. When the Plague of Justinian was happening in Constantinople, at that time, a dreadful volcanic eruption occurred from beneath that lake, and this mountain is its existing proof. Though the mountain looks very ordinary, it is in fact made of volcanic ash. It was the result of that volcanic eruption, which occurred from beneath the lake 1,500 years ago. Viewers, at present millions and millions of people still live under the shadow of volcanoes. Science doesn't have the answer to when these volcanoes might erupt. One thing we are now certain about is the fact that volcanoes which are thousands of kilometers away from us can harm us nonetheless. Volcanologists, climate researchers, and geologists are still now continuing their research on past volcanic eruptions and the resulting destruction, so that humanity can be saved from the wrath of these sleeping giants. I hope you got some information from this video. Thanks for watching.